All right, we're live, and I am so excited. We have one of my absolute favorite artists, fiber artists, one of my favorite clients, and all this, Nathalie with Fringe and Free. I'm going to give a quick introduction to me and Casey in case you're watching for the first time. My name's Brittany Brainstorm, and I own the creative agency Brainstorm Boutique. And my sister, Casey Manise, is here with me, and she is also a designer, and she's a social media life performance coach. But it's not about us today. We have Nathalie from Texas. We are all in here virtually hanging out and chatting about all the good things. So, Nathalie, I want you to introduce yourself and tell us about your business.
Thank you for having me. I am so happy to be here. But I own Fringe and Free, the modern macrame brand, and I play around with some other home furnishings where I use fiber to make things.
So cool.
And you make it gorgeous things. In the background there is one of Nathalie's plant hangers. And Nathalie, forgive me, I don't remember the title of that one, the name of that one.
Yeah,
but
it looks like the minimal square from my vantage point. I think that's the minimal square.
I think so. It's one of my absolute favorites. I was confessing to Nathalie that I do not possess a green thumb. And my wonderful friend Dane with Creative Scapes helped me find all these awesome plants. And if Dane's watching, don't tell him, but I think that's the only survivor at this point. So that's the kind of plant I could keep alive. Oh my gosh, I can't believe it.
I had a few conversations with Dane, and I was actually thinking about him today because I heard that the name Dane means like a mound of dirt, and I thought that was just amazing. I was like, you know, that like he's living his legacy right now. Like, yeah.
Oh my gosh. Isn't that crazy how our names can like really align us in life without realizing it?
Yes.
Super crazy.
Mm-hmm. That is so. Oh, we got someone who commented, Andrea Rustin-Holt. She's with Bubby's Boutique. She's another client of mine. Absolutely love Andrea. She says, "Hey y'all, so excited to be watching tonight. We're so happy you're here,
Hi,
Andrea."
That's so cool.
Thanks for joining us. Okay, so I think you're very humble about your business and what all you do, Nathalie. So we're going to dig in just a little bit for anyone who doesn't really know what you do and about macrame and all those things. So first of all, I want you to tell us about the inception of your business. How did it begin? What made you decide to do this?
Yeah, wow. That's a hard question, but the short of it is last year I basically lost my job, and I was doing macrame for fun. And for anyone who doesn't really know what macrame is, or whenever you hear macrame, you think of a jute plant hanger from the 70s. Macrame really, just take it back, it's just knots, doing decor items with any kind of a knot. And so it could be very minimal and just like a simple knot that everyone knows how to do, like an overhand knot. So like technically there's a hanging shelf behind me, and it was made using only overhand knots, which anyone can do. That can be macrame, or the one on the other side, which uses like probably 5 or 6 different knots. That's macrame also. So it can be, it's very broad. Any kind of decor that you can make using knots. So that's, I was making plant hangers. I've been making those for a few years. I have 2 little boys. Whenever my oldest, whenever he started walking, he started taking all of my plants off the window sills, and I used terracotta pots, and so they were all getting broken, and I needed a way to just elevate them. And I realized that I learned many different knots whenever I was just a girl making friendship bracelets. I think a lot of us learned how to make friendship bracelets. We probably all learned the square knot or the spiral knot just to, create a cute little bracelet. Anyways, I realized you can make a plant hanger using similar techniques. And so the first plant hanger I made, I didn't like. And so I put it on Marketplace, and it sold within a few hours. And I was like, oh, I want to keep trying this. If I don't like the design, I'll just, post it. And yeah, that was the start of something. So whenever that, crossed paths with losing my job, I was like, well, I want to try macrame. Let's see if I can go somewhere. But prior to that, I had listened to the Business Boutique podcast, and I don't know if that's still the name of it or not, but I had listened to that podcast for years and listened to many podcasts from Dave Ramsey for years. And so I knew eventually I would want to have some sort of small business. I just didn't know what it would be. And so that was many years. So once it all timing worked out, it just kind of happened.
That's so cool. I love how so you did that one that's on behind you on the wall that's like framed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I love how because there's like that textured white on white trend. And I love how that's a different play on it, like making it fibers instead of like acrylic.
Yeah.
I think that it's just really, really beautiful way to play on that. That's I love that. Yeah. I want that in my house. I love that.
I like it too. Yeah, there's so much. I love playing with textures, natural textures. I'm really into all natural materials for 100 reasons, but getting to do fun things, especially such a wild design like that. Really, I was looking kind of into a horizon, and so I was just trying to mimic a landscape that was.
I can totally see that.
Yeah, I think it's so relaxing, and it's all fiber texture, and since it's all one color, you can kind of go wild and it still be calming.
Yeah.
So,
it really does. Just looking at your background right now, I just want to copy and paste it onto mine.
Yes.
I need you to take a picture and let it be my virtual background when I'm on Zoom or on Teams. I think you could have a whole line of aspirational backgrounds for the virtual space.
That would be such a side hustle to do.
It really would. Andrea says I have a custom piece for Fringe and Free and it's amazing.
Oh,
I didn't know that.
Right. Yes. Thank you, Brittany. Yeah, that was exciting. I don't think I can reveal. I'll let her reveal the details if she wants to, but it was really personal and special, and it was the first time I was able to do something like that, and I was so thankful to be a part of that.
Oh my gosh. Okay, well, I'm so excited when she shares it then.
Yeah.
That is, I love it when I see people's worlds collide, who we don't, she's in Michigan, you're in Texas, we're in Illinois, we're all connected right now, and I love it so much.
Knots.
Look at you.
Yeah. I just assume if I ever have an order that's not in Texas, I just assume somehow they're related to Brittany.
Well, okay, so I'm going to talk about real quick our connection because okay, this is just what I love about the world and the internet is I'm a huge Dave Ramsey fan. I've, following his baby steps and all that stuff, and fell in love with Christy Wright with Business Boutique because of that, and then was in the Facebook group, and you commented that you needed a website ASAP or something like that. And I don't remember everything, but I just remember, I commented, that, hey, I think it was you wanted to go into your own website for e-commerce. And I have extensive background in that. So I commented hey, I can help you, and I remember you emailed me right away and you're like, I need a website ASAP. And I was like, okay. And we went back and forth. But I have to say, Natalie, you gave me the most extensive interview I've ever had. And I was like, I hope I'm good enough for Natalie. She's amazing. And I loved it because I love someone who knows what they want and they know the investment they're making in it. And you're you wanted to know all the things. So I think I made a good impression because we ended up working together. But tell us about that. When did you decide that you needed your own space in the internet carved out just for you?
Yeah, so I had already been selling in markets for a few weekends, and frequently people would come up and they would ask, oh, do you have a website? Or they would ask, do you have an Etsy shop? And so I started out with Etsy and I didn't like it. So the short of it is it just wasn't working for me. For the top thing that I didn't like was I could make a plant hanger and list it, and I would know my material cost, I would know how much time it took, and I would know that I'm wanting to make this a business. And so I would price it accordingly. And it would give suggestions at the bottoms for plant hangers, and maybe it was more hobby, or maybe someone doesn't know how to price correctly, or maybe they don't care about making it, into a business, or I don't know. I don't understand how some people can price things so low. And so that was just constantly, I don't know if it was really hurting me or not. I know I wasn't making very many sales, and I know that's a whole thing, is learning how to get running on Etsy, and strategic ads, and getting the sales and all that sort of stuff. Like, there's definitely a way to make it work, and it has worked for some people. And it is, if you want to have multiple streams, it's okay to have Etsy and a website.
Yeah.
For me, I knew I didn't want to learn two different platforms. I didn't want to compete with I think women constantly underprice, and it was working. I just didn't. I'm also just I'm free. I want to have my own thing. I don't want to be, constrained, and if I don't have to be. So I love the idea of having my own website. But it was just really because people were asking for it, and I didn't have one. So
it's weird.
Well, I'm glad they asked.
One thing that I would like to comment on Etsy is that as just someone who shops a lot of handmade local, I don't trust Etsy anymore. And I remember there being a day when I trusted Etsy, but then when you get the piece in, it's obviously not handmade, or mass produced feeling, or it's got one of those stickers on it that says that it's made in a different country or something like that. And it became someplace that I go to when I have to. Of I can't find it, or if I really don't care, you know what I mean? I'd much rather buy directly from a person.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, I just trust the websites more than I trust going on Etsy.
Yeah, you do lose that personal connection, it seems anymore.
And then they constantly show you similar items too. It's just turned into its own Amazon marketed to millennials, Which
is funny, because Amazon, even they'll allow local small. That's a whole thing too. So they both have kind of lost what Amazon used to be this, Etsy used to be this. Now they're both more similar to each other, and
exactly
lost the beauty of being so different. But
yeah.
It's a weird one. I'm happy you got your own website. And it's beautiful too. I mean, it absolutely looks great.
Yeah, brand legitimacy, that was also a one that I didn't mention, but I felt like I wasn't legitimate until I had a beautiful website that was, anyways.
Well, first, I think we definitely have to give a huge shout out to your designer who did your branding, because your logo is absolutely stunning. I'm a huge fan of hers. I will admit, whenever I saw your branding already done, I was kind of jealous that I didn't do it. And I was like, who is this person? I absolutely love her work. I follow her on Instagram, and I'm a huge fan of it. Talk a little bit about that, because that's important. When you go into a website, you need to have a brand already established.
Yeah, so I just pulled up, just so I can give the right shout out for her handle, if anyone wants to follow her on Instagram. Her name is Amber Anderson, but her handle is Amber SSON art. And I'm sure we can link to that somewhere in a comment or something.
Yeah, I will.
Yeah,
Amberson, that's a good handle.
Yeah,
she's so good. I'm gonna bring up your website now. That way we can drool over your logo a little bit, and then you can talk about okay. I feel like I have so many things I want to talk about right now. I am so obsessed. I'm obsessed. I tell people about Fringe and Free all the time. You have no idea. And so I want first for you to talk about the name of your business and the inspiration behind it, because I absolutely love it. Then I want to talk about how that, translated into your branding and your logo, and then we'll talk about the website. So I'm going to go ahead and bring talk about the name first, then I'm going to talk about bring up the website.
Sure. So, like we alluded to earlier with Dane's name, I knew that a name was so important, and especially after having kids, I knew I wanted to. Anytime you name something and you're gonna stick with it, it has to be something that you can, be happy with. And so I was really wanting to speak life and hope into my brand, and so. Fringe and Free, it's based off the story in the Synoptic Gospel about the woman with the bleeding disorder, and she just wanted to be healed, and she believed, she had faith that if she could just touch the fringe of Christ's robe, that she would be healed. And she was, and you can read that story in Matthew, Mark, and Luke, probably all of them. But yeah, so it's based on that, holding on to faith. And I also have a whole story of trying to, have kids and that whole thing. I felt like I can resonate with her story so much. And I also feel like I've been healed and I've been able to have children when I thought I wasn't going to be able to. And so that also has so many personal layers for me. So I can go into that more, but I'll keep it there for now.
I love that.
I love it too. It is something like when you hear, like, it's a beautiful name and it's a fun name to say, but when you understand the layers like behind the name and just how personal it is, and that there's more depth to it, it just brings it to like a whole different level. And I'm so happy you shared that with us. So it's definitely, I think, very, very inspiring. So I have the website up here, and right here is her gorgeous logo. I'm obsessed
so much.
I really love it. So I just want you to talk about your inspiration and that process of creating this identity for your brand and what it symbolizes for you.
I didn't realize branding was so introspective, and you really have to define the heart of what you're wanting to do. You really have to have a great sense of self-awareness going into a branding session. So I didn't know any of that was involved. And I remember talking to Amber, my designer, about it. And she said she's also a professor at Dallas Baptist University in the art department. And she said this is something that she talks with her students about, is just you don't realize the internal deep dive that you might have to go into whenever you're branding. And so we met at Dallas Baptist University. We both worked there, and at the time when I met her, she was a student, which is amazing because she went from student to professor faster than she's to say the least. So she's been doing art for me for a few years, and it was just kind of a no-brainer. Anytime I can stick with someone consistently, I try to, and I feel like she knows me now. I can, we can skip a few meetings. But she's made a lot of things for me in the past. But I knew that so she's an adjunct professor, so she also has another job doing design with the company, and I knew she understood branding. I did not realize she really understood branding, because I think when some people get a logo made, so I came with her asking for a logo, and she did a branding session, and I did not know what that even was. I thought I was just going to come out with, 3 or 4 different files that I could use in different ways. I already had a logo that I could use. I realized so many things. I think the font I was using, maybe it was like a trademark font or something. I don't know. I ran into an issue very quickly. So whenever I spoke with her, we were going into the name and the intent and the heart. And she had a few designs that she came up with, and we were feeling pretty okay about them. But thankfully, she welcomes transparency. And so I was like, let's just wait and see. So I think we waited a few days just to see if it was sitting right, and it wasn't. and so I was also thankful that I was even just to voice that. Finding your voice, for me, finding my voice has been huge. Just being
Yeah.
in a small business,
Yep.
advocating for myself. I feel like the woman I am now is very different than who I was, just a few years ago. So even whenever I was able to voice, I think I need to go a different way. And also just being authentic to myself. I realized there's like a difference between who I wish I could be and who I really am. And now I'm finding that I'm actually more comfortable with who I am, and thankful for all of that. So,
I love that so much.
me too. In the logo, it's just a square knot, which is like a very simple, most people know how to make it, or if not, they can learn it very quickly. And I was wondering, should I make it another sort of design or something that was harder to achieve? It was harder to obtain. But I just realized I'm so simple-minded, and I love this knot. This knot I use over and over. And I just realized this is me, and actually simple is so beautiful. And
It is. Oh my gosh, I absolutely agree. I love it. I'm obsessed with it. I think it's amazing. And actually, we have a few comments here real quick I want to recognize. Andrea said not revealing yet. So I think we're talking about that personal design. So can't wait to see what that is. Kayla Bradar. Oh, Kayla. She says perfect name for your business. We all love Kayla. She's the best.
Person.
And Andrea says again, I love the black one. I think she's referring to on this video, that piece that is in the video. So thanks everyone for commenting. Keep commenting. We love to share those throughout here. But whenever I worked with you, with you already having your branding established and your colors and your fonts and all of that, like it just it made my job as your web designer so much easier. There's times that I get to do all of it, but I was so excited to use someone else's vision, and the collaboration that you guys put together, and then put it in really virtual merchandising, with your website. I remember we did a really simple one just to get one up quick. And then I was able to use some time to really be more thoughtful on your webpage and your design. And what I love here is how you get to feature like your favorite products. Does that help you? Like, do you get excited about that when you have a new style?
So yes, now it took me a minute to figure out how to change some of the collections and to figure that part out. But yeah, I just changed that one like a few days ago because that product dropped I think yesterday. So that first one that's right there. I was like,
love this. We're gonna click on it. We're gonna check it out because it's so okay. So I am spoiled where you do send me like your amazing stuff, your designs, and then I photograph it. But Natalie, just want you to know, like, your photography is gorgeous.
Yes.
Like you do an absolutely stunning
job. You have such a good eye.
She really does. This is so beautiful. Oh my gosh. Okay. Look, when I'm at a baby step 2, you just wait until I show up with my online orders. Like, this is gorgeous.
I'm so glad you think so.
It is.
It's a whole nother thing.
You are a photographer.
Have you ever heard of Martha May Andersonville in Chicago?
No, I haven't.
You should look her up. She's somebody who I could imagine you working with. She curates her own, she has her own art store in Andersonville, which is a really, really cute neighborhood in Chicago. And she has like very similar style as you in curation. Oh. And I could just really imagine like something really beautiful happening there. She sells a lot of like small ceramics. Brittany went to Martha May with me. Mm-hmm. Just a really, really excellent shop. I'll get you her handle. I don't know her personally. I wish I did because she is so cool. Yeah. But I've gone in there and she has like helped me buy stuff before, and she's an excellent person. She's super sweet.
Oh, that's exciting.
But you have very similar styles there.
So let's talk about this as well. So you have different like collections of styles. Like we see here, your simple and sweet minimal, your distinctive designs, your signature designs, and then your luxurious and intricate luxe collection. What inspires that? Like, what would make you decide something's minimal versus signature versus luxe? Because you are, I mean, overall a fairly young company, and the fact that you already see like this line of collections is really amazing. It's really inspiring.
Oh, I see way too far sometimes. But yeah, really it's the techniques, the knots that I use. And it's also, I think most people shopping from me, they don't really know what goes into a piece. And so minimal does take usually less time. Less is more, but less means there's less knots, there's less time put into it. The Lux line, those knots, they may seem not too much different. The look is different, but that knot, that double half hitch knot, it takes probably twice as long, twice as much material. The actual, I love this shoot that you did, Brittany. This whole shoot is just, I constantly go back to these pictures, and there was something about the shape of that pot even. Oh, it just makes that design pop. And I think I'm going to do a minimal version of that design where I don't have the 3 knots up at the top, where it's just the base one, so I can also get that to a different price point. But that one just takes so much more time. And so I'm also trying to educate my audience in a non-obvious way by letting them know this is luxe. This is different. Don't view this one as you know, the same as the others. And I love her. Look at that. Oh, Brittany.
Hey, okay, I have to tell you something. So that plant and that pot, Dane, that pot was his, and he let me borrow it for this shoot. And so whenever I was done with it, and first of all, I wanted to steal it, but I didn't. I was good. And I was like, I could not separate that pot and this plant hanging piece. So when I gave him his pot back, I gave him this plant hanging piece with it, because like they are meant to be together. And I really wish I was like the type that would have stolen the pot, but I didn't. I didn't
Brittany
do
is
it.
definitely not the type that would steal anything.
I didn't. Oh, these are all your different colors. Yes, I remember you sent me these, and I took the pictures of these different colors. I love that piece. So they can just go over here and be like, I want this in forest green.
So you make them to order?
I do.
Whoa.
One difference between, this is one part of Shopify that I wish could be changed. I don't know how they could change it on their end, but this is one area I think Etsy might have the upper hand when it comes to handmade items. Because you have to put in your inventory in order to be able to sell a piece. So I don't know if you can sell. I have big spools of cord in the back, but I only have a limited amount of each color. But I do have to show that I have inventory of every product and every color in order to sell that. But like if someone wanted to come and buy every single item on my site, I wouldn't be able to fulfill, you know, an order like that. So that's something that I've had to also be aware of and be careful with. Some of my larger wall hangings, I don't say that I have it in every color, or I do only post ones that are already made, or I'll only offer a few designs in every color, just because of that problem. I don't want to ever not be able to fulfill an order. So I'm still working around that. But I think Etsy, I'm not quite sure, but I think Etsy has a way to say, I don't know, on the back end, there's, I guess, it's set up a bit differently.
You know what? I want to look into that for you, because I think there is a way around that. But I'll use the whole, we'll circle back off the line.
No worries.
Because I think there might be an option to do that. And I think that would make your life easier. But I want to go in there and check it before I promise you that. But yes, I hope one day someone does come on here and buy everything in every single color. Like, I know that might make your life a little complicated.
Yeah.
But I really hope that, like, oh my gosh, okay. I'm feeling distracted looking at your website. I just want you to know, like, this is amazing. And tell me, like, you incorporate, I know you really like to incorporate natural elements along with your macrame.
Yeah. Yes, definitely. That's the branding. That's me. That's just, if it can be done naturally, then I try to. What's great about using an antler, and just I don't know who your audience is, but I don't know if anyone knows very many things about antlers. I honestly don't know a lot about them, but it's basically like it has like the material of a bone, but it naturally sheds every year. You can kill a deer and take the antlers and mount it on a wall. That's definitely a thing. That's a very common decor item in Texas, I think, in many places. But antlers are.
We're in Southern Illinois. Hunting's very big down here. So,
Well, I say all that to say, Facebook does not allow me to link antler products because they say that it's the killing of animals, or it's like the buying and selling of animals is what they say. And I have told them that these naturally shed, they were hand foraged, and I sourced them that way. But I don't know if I was actually talking to a person or not. But even Katie, who is from the the Rooted Rooster.
Yes.
They have a lot of land, and they have lots of deer on their land, and they know where to go on the land to get antlers. But they come up every year. And there's also farms. I'm not too familiar with the whole deer thing, but anyways, I really like using antlers because once you get them, you can just clean them and use them. I don't have to worry about any part of the wood. I'm not super familiar with all sorts of wood. I know in general, most of my pieces look better if it's like a driftwood type of dowel instead of a straight dowel. There are exceptions. Some of my more geometric designs look better on a straight dowel. But if it's a driftwood type piece, there's a lot of time that goes into me taking off the bark, and then just like a piece of wood needs to stay out in the sun for like almost a year for it to be seasoned and dried to use. If you find some that have already been seasoned and dried, you can take the bark off yourself, or depending on the type of wood, you don't have to do that. But there is quite a bit that goes into even just sealing it, and that's also whether you use natural oils or different types of chemicals. I stay away from chemicals as much as possible. And anyways, antlers are just ready to go. And I don't have to worry about them deteriorating or there being any kind of bugs or weight.
Yeah.
Like they're just good to go. They have the driftwood appearance, and I like them.
And they're gorgeous.
Yeah, I love how it's like a mix of like feminine and like masculine.
Yes.
Because it's like it's such a feminine take on something so like traditionally masculine. Like I really thought, like when I looked at it, I was like, is that an antler? Because it just looks so like graceful.
Yes.
And I feel like it's like a really respectful like homage to pay to like the deer, because deer are really graceful, and I never really even think about that. It's just really beautiful. I love it.
Hey, we got Kayla commenting here. I got to make sure I show her comments. She goes, yes, I totally agree. The photography is on point. Fringe and Freeze and Instagram is always catching my eye. Completely agree with her on that. I'm pretty much like, I think I interact with your stuff so much, Natalie, that's always first in my like newsfeed.
Wow.
So the analytics are on point. They know I'm a fan. And then she goes, Natalie taught me you can dye things with avocado skins. Like, what? I love how natural you keep it. I definitely think that's a big part of the appeal in Fringe and Free. I absolutely agree with her on that. Okay, so I have to show like the little ones here, because you're doing like a line for nurseries that is absolutely stunning. We're talking about the antler. I mean, this is so cute. I don't know how you do this. I literally don't know how you do this.
And you did all that macrame for that. That's like so intricate.
Yeah. And that goes back to that.
Oh my gosh.
That's like I would put that in the luxe category because that's the type of knot that's involved.
Yeah.
It is beautiful.
And the dried flower element, I'm obsessed.
It's so pretty.
That is so cute.
This is a statement piece for a nursery. Like,
that's so
oh
cute.
my gosh. I don't have kids, but I need like someone to have a baby so I can. This is amazing. It just, I haven't seen this one, Natalie.
Yeah. That one was for fun. I don't know if I'll be making it again. We'll see. I'm constantly
Wow.
doing new things. I had been asked to make a dream catcher, and I stayed away from it for a few different reasons. But there is like the overall shape of the dream catcher that I like. So I wanted to put a completely different spin, also like non-spiritual like component to it, and just do a flower catcher. And I
love that.
That
most
is
of those
too
florals
pretty.
myself, not the palm, but all the other florals in that piece I dried myself, and it was really cute and sweet.
That's so pretty.
That is so like, that's just so dreamy. And okay, and then I have to show this one. Sorry, I'm like really browsing your website right now.
Oh my gosh.
This, like, when you posted this, my heart about exploded.
Really?
I seriously love it so much. Like, now you collaborated with this, right?
Definitely. So yeah, this piece has a great story, but the short of it is the rustic rabbit, Rebecca with the rabbit, she does laser work, woodwork and laser work. And this product is we're still developing it. So this is what it looks like right now, but we're modifying the design a little bit. We're going to make the lines more pronounced. We're playing around with whether we should fill in the nose and fill in the cheeks, and we're also playing around with the ears. But this was designed by Amber and then sent to Rebecca, modified by Rebecca, and we're still modifying some stuff.
So this is like a triple collab.
Yes, it is. All
I love it.
Beautiful. I love it.
So cute. How big is that? Is that like a foot? Like the
Let me read my product description.
Sorry.
Yeah, so the large is really big. I don't know if I'll continue with the large. It's so hand tying those little strings. They're so fine. And I love the look, but I'm afraid I'm going to outprice myself if I, anyways, we're trying to do a few modifications to see if we can make it a different point. So I want to sell these at a shop in Bishop Arts in Dallas, and I have to just keep in mind my target, the audience over there. But yeah, all that to say, the big one is quite big. And
I think it said 17 inches wide, main with 10-inch wood face. And then the small is 14, and then with the 7-inch wood face.
What a great statement piece for a room.
I know. I'm okay. I have to look at your wall hangings and wait a minute. Hang on. Okay, we're gonna look at your website one more time, and then I have to unbox. I haven't even unboxed.
Oh yeah!
Oh my gosh!
What the heck?
Sure.
Okay.
I have a question for y'all first, though. So I have in that baby Aslan piece. There's the hemp, and then there's the raffia. The raffia is like very straight out. The hemp is more like a mane would be. Which one do y'all like better?
I'm kind of partial to this guy.
I love him.
But I love both of them. Okay. Caleb actually commented and she said, yes, that baby is Aslan is one of my most favorites. Like, I'm sad we have dinosaurs in the boys' room. I'm sad that I don't have a lion themed bedroom as a
honestly, I think Scoop needs it. I think my puppy.
I think Scoop needs it. I honestly, I love both. Like, I think I like how this lays as like feels like that natural mane, but like this is super cute with it like all just like radiating out, like it reminds me of like almost like sun rays.
It reminds me of whenever Simba is singing I Just Can't Wait to Be King, and he sticks his head in the bushes and he gets the Mufasa mane and then he like is shaking it off. That's what I think about.
Specific memory. I love it so much. Okay, Natalie, what do I show next? Wall hangings, greeting cards? Like, I don't even know.
Maybe not the greeting cards because that. Okay. Not the greeting cards yet. Okay. I need to take better pictures of the greeting cards.
Okay, I'm going to show the one that I photographed at my friend's
Yes.
nursery. This one's a macrame banner. And
Oh my gosh.
is this
That
not the
is so
cutest, Casey?
cute.
Like, hello. And see, her husband did this piece up here. And when we were looking for places to hang that, it was like, well, yeah, it just goes right underneath that. Like, it just was like
That's beautiful.
the perfect element that brought it all together. And you can, I mean, this would be cute in an office. Like, it's not just a nursery piece, in my opinion. I would totally have this in my office.
It would be cute in like, even like, you know, thinking of like that college dorm feel too. Like, I feel like it just could grow with you, you know, like it could go anywhere.
Yeah.
So like, do you ever like mix the colors? So like, if I was like, oh, I want like a custom one with like the dusty rose and the white for something that looked like that, or do you just like strictly just like pick one color, that's all I'm doing?
Yeah, so I'm still very small and I have all the time in the world to do custom orders like that. So I would definitely do that. There's a few different ways to mix in color, but as long as it doesn't like completely go against like my branding, then you know that totally would stay in line, and I'd be happy to do something like that. Ooh.
That's so cool.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
This is sold out, but I am like, I need to
make another one. I don't have it above my bed right now, so I like to make a piece for someone and then I get to keep it for a little bit. But yeah, so that one was a special order and we love the way it turned out. We use natural cotton. So this is a natural white cotton version of the large black piece, the Lutz Lynette. So originally this piece was made in black and it had an extra layer of fringe. We did a slight deviation on it and it came out beautiful. I love it.
That's so pretty.
It's really breathtaking.
And it's so romantic.
It is.
Yes. I wonder, do you know why it's romantic? Can you deconstruct it a bit to see why does it have that feeling?
It reminds me of like an off-the-shoulder dress that I might wear in like Savannah, Georgia or something.
Yes, right? The plunging neckline.
Yes.
It's so beautiful. It's
very
so
like wedding.
So girly. I love it.
Yes.
This is so like this could be a gorgeous backdrop for like I think of like a micro wedding. I mean really any wedding.
Oh yeah.
But this could be a gorgeous backdrop. I could like see it like hanging in a tree, even like between branches in a tree.
Yeah.
For like an outdoor wedding. Natalie, I love it. I need I have to redo my entire home decor. And then I'm going to have a Natalie's piece. Oh my gosh. Okay. I don't want to take up your whole night because I can seriously like be obsessed with this. So
I love just like being on the internet together.
I know.
This is so much fun. So I'm all over the place. You're gonna have to like rein me in because I just talk about first of all the coasters.
Oh my gosh.
I got from you. Okay, here's an example of her using two totally different colors. That. I don't know how you get it like almost like that's like perfectly aligned in the center.
Yeah.
I love
the way.
I love these. Isn't it so pretty? But then I also love this one because it's a single color.
Oh my gosh.
And it's a texture element, you know, again with like, because I have a white desktop and then I have this on it where I keep my little drink and I feel really fancy. And it's just like all the different levels of textures. I feel like I have so much to talk about your stuff. So I'm gonna like, okay, this is super cute.
Something. I'm like, what is she gonna do with another?
I feel like I need to like have a QVC channel right now, but I'm not selling mine, just so you know. I'm not selling mine. But like this is so fun because I feel like it's such a different take on a coaster size. Like it's, you know, a square and coasters tend to be round, but it's like a little rug. It's like a little rug for your mug.
Exactly.
I'm obsessed. Okay, and my mom just commented real quick. She said, Macrame is not easy. Anything I have attempted looks like a cat did it. I tried a plant hanger and the pot fell out. I am glad I can go to Natalie for gifts. She did. She bought one of yours for a friend of hers, I think, for Christmas. Maybe her boss, actually. I think you did try to make your own, Mom. I told you.
Mom,
I told
she's
you.
good at so many things.
She really is.
She's good at so many things.
Well,
That was kind of a shocker.
I'm thankful for her and for all of the women who know, because like her, I guess, I don't know what the right word is, generation, like that group of women who understand macrame, and the ones that didn't quite resonate with it, they're the ones that become my amazing, awesome customers. And oh my gosh, I just can't even describe just what it's been like to work with that group of women. And it was not expected. I never thought that I would have that. I thought I would be selling to just, people that are like me, like my age, and it's not been the case. And that's been such a pleasant surprise. Not knowing who my target audience was really caught me off guard in the best way. So that's all been very new for me.
That is so awesome. Melanie says, I'll try anything once. Well, at least you tried. That's what matters. Okay, so Natalie, when I try again with some plants,
yes,
I have my pieces that I'm going to have as like beautifully on display like that one. But this is like one of my favorites. It is, I got to figure out my camera. Okay. Like it just has like the perfect little, like I want to set in this. I want this to be Brittany size. Natalie, can you make a Brittany size piece? Could you imagine how amazing life would be if I could hang out with this? And
I mean, it's a hammock, I guess. Similar things. Yeah.
That I don't think I could afford. But that's like baby step 7 goals. Okay, I'm gonna make this really quick because your husband and your kids are probably like, where's our mother at tonight?
Yeah, my boys don't worry about them.
So, okay. I'm doing an unboxing. I'm super excited. I have no idea really what's in here. But look at this tape.
Love it.
Let me see if I can do it just right. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to figure this out. So Amber designed this, right?
She sure did. So anytime I can give her a design project, I will. There's one thing she hasn't made for me yet design-wise, and you'll be seeing that soon, which I want her to do eventually. But yes, she did those. Actually, I'm trying to think when she did those. Sometimes I pay her for things. Sometimes we exchange things. So I can't remember if that was which one that one was. But I asked her to create illustrations that, in her mind, visualized the 3 things that I wanted people to feel and to see whenever they were opening a box. So the 3 words were peace, joy, and life. And so she chose flowers that represented those 3 words, and those are the flowers that are on the blouses of all of the illustrations. And I just gave her full reign. I said, you have full creative freedom, whatever comes. And I didn't even tell her like if they should be illustrations of anything. I didn't say what it was. And so she just went with people, and yeah.
I love that.
Okay, it like literally
so hard.
Be an artist.
It broke my heart to have to cut through some of this. I just want you to know, like it literally pains me because I'm a package fanatic.
So cute. I love.
Oh my gosh,
tape. I geek out so hard when I get a box with branding tape on it. I'm like, yes.
I don't know if I can show this without it falling.
Oh my gosh, Natalie.
Is that not the cutest? I don't even want to go any further. I just want it to look like this forever.
I've never unboxed one of my boxes. This is awesome.
Oh my gosh.
I actually had to throw away the little dried lavender I got from you from the very first package you sent me. I'm telling you, when I keep packaging, I'm not lying. It pains me. Oh, this is just so cute. Oh my goodness. I love it. Oh my gosh. And your business cards. I'm a business card fanatic, so
that's all Amber. Every single
We should have had Amber on here too
Right.
tonight. I want to meet her. I'm literally
Yeah.
like I'm her biggest fan in Illinois. Okay. I love her work so much. Oh my goodness. Look at
Oh
this.
my
Did
gosh.
they make it? I think so. Yes. Okay.
That
Yay.
looks so beautiful. Oh my God. Natalie. Oh, look at that little. I'm trying to figure out my camera here, so forgive me if I put it in the other direction. These are and just it's blank on the inside,
Precious.
Yeah. So
and then
I'll
your logo on the back.
versions of that. This is just that little round one. There's going to be a bow version, and there's also going to be a eucalyptus version of all of those too.
Oh my
So
gosh.
those are cute. So I get those flowers fresh, and then I press them in all of my favorite books and Bibles in my room. Even my 3-year-old, he's like, "Mom, why do you have my book?"
So that's an actual flower on there?
Yeah.
That's
the
not just a printed
inside.
flower?
So those
Yeah,
are
it's textured.
flowers.
Can you
From
see it
here,
from the side?
Oh my gosh. From the first angle, it just looked like it was just a printed flower,
Which is gorgeous.
which was still had me like, oh my gosh. And now I'm like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That is so cute.
Okay, so the question is like, who is worthy enough to receive this? Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So cute. Natalie, I'm
Just
obsessed
write
with all
cute notes
this.
to yourself.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so I wish Dane was watching this right now. I'm gonna like tag him in the comments later and be like, your name's come up way too many times. I need new stuff. I need new plants like that one that I won't kill. And this is gorgeous. Okay. It's hard to tell because I don't have a pot to put in it right now.
I think
Is
that's
this
also the minimal square. So it's the same one that's
okay?
hanging, but there is a new feature that is
Yes.
so wonderful. This is a steel ring that was hand forged by a local blacksmith
Oh
out
my
of Fort
goodness.
Worth, and he does amazing work. And I'm slowly trying to transition to all of my plant hangers using his rings. So my cost goes up a lot more than my wood rings, but they are better for like 3 different reasons. Functionally, they're better because if you have a great huge pot and maybe, I don't know, something could happen to the wood if it's hit the wrong way or something like that.
Yeah.
So the steel is functionally better. It also is hand forged, which goes with my whole handmade. Yeah, this one is my Eve plant collector. It looked like DNA to me, so my mind just.
Yes.
So
I love this.
modified this design a bit. So this is actually the first time that design has been shown. But this.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
I'm so excited. Oh my gosh.
So pretty. And which color
okay.
is that?
I believe that's golden sand.
Love it.
Kayla says, are the cards for sale yet?
Yes, they are. They just don't have the beautiful pictures, but they are on my website, and I need to. So I was curious if the cards were going to make it to Brittany because I don't use a plastic. I think it's called cellophane like packaging. I personally don't like plastic. Our family got rid of plastic years ago when we were trying to figure out fertility stuff, and so just in general, we try to stay away from plastic. So then the thought of like adding plastic for packaging, and there's different types of plastic, and certain plastics are more harmful than others. And then there's of course the whole like thinking of just like the planet and where plastic goes. Like there's even that side of it. But for a long time, my family has tried to stay away from it, and so. But it's hard whenever you have a pressed dried flower. So I added a craft paper sleeve that my son and I, we cut. He loves to do the little paper cutting. And I'm hoping that'll be enough. So I'm still doing some testing, like selling them in person, like in brick and mortar shops. I don't have to worry about that as much. And I think once it's in an envelope, I don't have to worry about it as much. But I'm still working all of those details out.
Yeah, I think it's beautiful. I don't know how you come up with all your stuff. Like literally like you're an innovator, okay? You're a macrame, you're a naughty innovator.
Oh my God.
Sorry, I had to.
My husband says this a lot.
You're literally so good at it. And I don't want to take up a whole lot of your time, much more of your time. So I know we really got to go in depth on like your products, which is everything. We talked about like you starting your business and all of that. How like do you feel like you were finally able to live your passion, and like how do you feel like it makes you feel as a person? Because I mean, really, the pandemic started exactly a year ago in America. How does that feel for you?
I do feel like I am living my passion. It's funny that I didn't know I would enjoy this so much, and it's not like I was, 12 years old and thinking, oh, one day I want to have a macrame business. Like I don't come from a family that like really was ever successful with small business, and so it wasn't anything I ever thought about. It wasn't until my husband and I were in debt and we had heard about Dave Ramsey and heard another way. We were never really, neither of us were really taught that you could do things a different way. I'm so thankful for all of his free podcasts because he has lots of programs and all of that. I don't think I ever bought a single thing. Like everything is just like all of like the true thing, the life-changing thing. It's all just free information. So I was so thankful to hear about all of that. And it wasn't until the years of getting out of debt where we changed our lifestyle completely and reprioritized things that eventually, whenever we were pregnant with our first, we had just paid off our final debt payment, and then it changed everything because I had just I put in my resignation at my job, and I thought that I was going to go into it, and I did. I transitioned into a different type of work, but I had my master's degree. I had what I thought was going to be a reliable job, and I thought I was going to enjoy it, and neither one of those proved true. And it took all of that, I think, priming for then once I did, like the passion part, there's so much to talk about with that word, but I don't think if we wouldn't have had the financial freedom that we had by not being in debt, we were already used to a frugal lifestyle because we had already made so many changes, and we learned to live off of a single income because the second income was already just going to debt. So that transition helped us as a family. It helped us actually be able to pursue things that we wanted to instead of ones that we had to. I didn't have to take all these different jobs just to survive. I could actually make choices. And I think that I just didn't understand that part of it. I think having that not being, yeah. Anyways, I hope you understand what I'm saying.
No, I do.
Yeah, totally.
I absolutely do. I will say, like me personally, because I'm, on the debt freedom journey and all those things, and we're getting close to being at the end of it, and it's amazing. Like it's just amazing, like how you feel. Like you feel like you get to make these choices, and you doing this isn't selfish, or it's not keeping you from doing something else that's just, well, I need to just be making money. Like when you don't have that stress, weighing over you, because you're always going to have expenses, right? There's always going to be expenses, but expenses and debt, they're like they're two completely different things. And when you get to just focus on what your heart truly wants to do, I mean, it just makes life worth living,
Yeah,
it really does.
I'm a nut job about debt. Like I hate it. I hate everything about that. I'm like, if I don't have the money to pay for it, I don't want to even get into it. But I guess that's like, I'm a recession baby. You know what I mean? Like I was in high school when all that was going on. So at that point I was able to like move my life based on like what happens when all of that tumbles in. You lose everything. You know what I mean? It kind of messed with you. I feel like you were already in college, weren't you, Brittany, at that point?
Yeah, I was Natalie. I don't know exactly how old you are, and you don't have to tell me. But were you in college around that time, or like going into college during the recession? Do you remember?
Actually, I don't really know. So I'm 30, so that helps. You want me to
Okay,
do math for me?
you're just right, kind of in between me and Casey. Then,
Yeah.
yeah,
So
you
you were
might
like
have.
probably
You
still
might
in
have.
high school because I
Yeah,
was 15. So you would have, I'm 28 going on 29. So yeah, that kind of stuff, it just like really flipped me out. Like I get money stuff, I just get like, probably to a fault, honestly, because I need to start doing something, but I don't know.
it's. I think in the long run, it was kind of a blessing to have been in my early, 20s when all that was going on, because like, I did have to take student loans and things like that, but I could have packed on even more.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people who just add and add and add more to it. So all that to say, like, it's those choices, and it's even if you are like, I don't, we're gonna turn to like a little Dave Ramsey like seminar pretty soon, but even if you are like, you can always take a breather and then like reassess things and then get on the path of creating that freedom for yourself, which you and your husband clearly did a phenomenal job. And I have so much respect and admiration for that. And I just love seeing other people, women especially, like showing up as their true self, doing what they want to do, setting more goals for themselves. And I mean, really, we can do we can do whatever we want. Eventually it will come to pass, if you put the hard work into it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm excited, and I'm so excited to meet so many other people who, yeah, like I never would have met you or Rebecca or
Yeah.
Kate from the Rustic Rabbit and from the Rooted Roosters. It's hard for me to say every time. Like, okay, get it right, tongue twister. All of
We
us.
gotta tag them in it because you guys have your show.
We do, yeah. We have a weekly Sip with Small, and we three connected also through the business boutique. It was so funny. I'm not on Facebook too often. I don't check groups very often. I think I'm like 100 groups. So everything just worked out that we met, and we did an online. I don't know what they're called, but you sell through a Facebook group for like a 3 days or so. We were all in the same one and decided to keep connecting after the market. But we all of us were attracted to freedom. Like it just made sense,
that.
and it's interesting because I don't think any of us really came from that, and I think it's such a blessing because we're given, what our parents give us, and I think they do the best that they can, but it's really an added blessing whenever you can be given something that even your parents weren't given, and it was through a podcast. Like that's so special. Like it wasn't even this secret meeting that, only a few people get to go to learn what it's like to have a free life. Like it's just free information.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really amazing. I will tell you, because of like the podcasts I've listened to, obviously they're a much bigger scale than me, but I find it so important to have these conversations with people weekly who are different and in these different niches, and being able to hopefully have other people listen to these conversations who may not listen to it anywhere else, you know.
I guess so.
And so it's kind of like the podcast situation. Maybe one day you will have your podcast and I can have mine. And, just to be able to share that message to other people, to inspire them to do what they love and realize that they can be in control of their choices in life.
Yeah, it's part of like telling the truth too. It's like finding your truth and then telling your truth and being authentic with it is like the only way you're going to be happy. And no one is going to be happy for you. It doesn't work like that. I feel like there's always like sometimes when you're not happy, you get stuck in a rut of judging other people and being like, well, why don't they just do it this way? And it's like, well, honey, what do you do? What do you do? Tell me.
That's really true.
It's a good indicator that person isn't telling the truth and they aren't living truthfully, whatever that means. And I think that, you know, with it being like having your own business and running it the way that you want to run it and having like your own brand story that means so much to you. It's like every time you hand out your business card, Fringe and Free, you're telling your truth and you're giving that that heartfelt message. And it's just like, that's just inspiring and wonderful. And I wish that everyone was living like that, because it does feel good. It feels really, really good when you're writing your own part.
Completely. I said this just the other day. I said I didn't realize I could enjoy work so much. And sometimes I feel like I'm doing something wrong, but I have to just remind myself, like, this is just so right, and you're not used to it. And I was so blown away by that. And I really hope that everyone can find that. And this is the path that I took. But there's a verse that I really stood on that I give to everyone whenever I can, because it's so hopeful for anyone that would follow it. It's not like necessarily follow this exact path, but with this verse, it's trust in the Lord God with all of your heart, lean not on your own understanding, in all your ways acknowledge him. He will make your path straight. Whatever path you're on, if you start doing those things, I think he will really make it. Because going back to like whenever I was a 12-year-old girl, I never would have thought this. I think at a certain point, he has to read your heart and tell you, like, interpret your heart. Because I didn't know. Like I had feelings, but I had no words to go with those feelings. I didn't know all these things about me. I was labeled. I think all of us are labeled so often. And even in college, take this personality test and get this, take it before and at the end. I think ours we used was Myers-Briggs. And even that, it's supposed to help you, but it also can confine you. And it's like, well, these are the careers that we recommend for you. And that was so, I don't know, did I answer that correctly? Well, I was really confused by a few of those questions. What if I should have done the other one? What if I really, and oh my word, it's just so confusing. And I am so thankful for verses like that just actually just focus on one thing and acknowledge him in all your ways, and he'll make your path straight. Because he definitely did. I can't attribute it to really anything specifically other than that. Of course, all these details. Dave Ramsey is a big part of it for everything he shared. But and of course, Christy Wright, there's a big part. She talks about the dreaming phase, and I was stuck in that dreaming phase for a long time. Like, I don't know. I can take this quiz. I can, try to figure it out. I can read this book. But at the end, I was stuck in that phase for a few years, but the timing wasn't right. And I was still developing in ways I didn't even know. And now it's just, it's a really happy.
I love that.
That's so true. I'll say something real quick. When you and I connected, I don't know if you knew how early I was in my business with Brainstorm Boutique, because I've been doing this for a decade, but quietly, pretty much just like a word of mouth, freelancer. And during the pandemic, I'm at home and not going anywhere. And I had like some choices to make with some other side, jobs that I was doing. And I realized like I really wasn't giving myself the freedom of time to serve people that I felt really needed my skill sets. And it was actually like in August when I made a decision to end a part-time job that I really loved and go all in Brainstorm Boutique for my business. And then it was like the stars started aligning with me working with people like Nathalie. I felt like God really aligned us to come together. I think was it September or October maybe when we started working together. So it was literally like a month within me just like announcing to the world, like, I'm Brittany Brainstorm and this is my business, Brainstorm Boutique. And like I feel like God was like, here's Nathalie. And I was like, oh my gosh, like I've not met you in person.
That's what it feels like. It works out. You don't have to exactly know how. It just somehow you meet the right people, and somehow it's just so freeing. Anyways, I totally believe that we were supposed to meet, and you are so much more than I can say. You are good with words. I need to talk to you about how to describe you because you have a million words that are so accurate and just. But,
well, just know that here in Southern Illinois, there's like several people. It's like, oh, but have you heard of Fringe and Free? Oh, have you heard of Fringe and Free? Like I like sprinkle your name everywhere I go. I really, truly do. But Nathalie, I want to let you get back to your family and your life in Texas. Is there anything you would like to say or add about well, tell people where to find you. And I'm going to tag your accounts when I go back in the replay.
oh, thank you so much for having me. So my website is fringeandfree.com. Come done by Brittany Brainstorm. Every little detail, it's so beautiful. And my handle across all platforms is at Fringe and Free.
Love it. Well, thank you so much, Nathalie, and you have a great evening. And it was just really nice getting to connect with you and hang out with you.
Yes, I'm so thankful to meet you, Casey. I have heard about you. I distinctly remember one conversation I had with Brittany, and she's like, I have to go right now. I have to go see my sister. She's in a performance, doing a stand-up performance tonight. And I was like, what? I need to know her. Like, how do you have that kind of confidence on stage in front of people? Like, I need to know her and like learn something. So anyways, that stuck, and I'm so thankful that y'all are working together. I have so much to learn from you. I'm excited to hear what additions you're going to have with this amazing team.
Yeah, I love it too.
Thank you. Well, I will say it's not ready yet, but Casey is going to end up having a program to help people learn from what she knows in improv and confidence in performance. And I won't give too much away, but whenever that's ready, you'll know about it.
That's a lot. Going into small business, I did not realize how often I would be in front of the camera. I had no idea. So this is all very blindsided me.
Yeah.
So this is very needed, Casey. I hope you enjoy.
Thank you. It's been fun, especially working with your sister. Like, that's another thing that just aligns so well. It was just perfect timing. Brittany starting this, and then I had just completed as far as I can go at Second City. Like, I'm pretty sure that they won't even let me take classes anymore. They're like, Casey, stop. Just stop. So it's just, I love it. I love what I do, and I absolutely adore working with my sister. Like I said, like,
you can tell the truth later, Casey.
No, seriously, Brittany's like the best person to work with. Like, zero complaints. She's excellent.
People, I need to get Brittany to move to Texas because I don't get to where I want to go without her.
Hey, I'm going to say real quick, well, I keep saying we're ending, but we're just going to be out here all night. Screw it. We're just going to all hang out. But no, Casey and I were planning like some travel for, we don't know when exactly, but we're planning some travel. And I did mention, I said, maybe we need to go to Texas and then we could hit up and see Nathalie and make that a business, like make a little something business. We'll talk to Kayla later.
Get back in the chat.
Kayla, back in our chat. We need to know how to write this off.
My skateboard and my Texas trip.
Yes.
Oh man.
I love Texas.
Me too.
I love it. I was thinking about moving there, and then the pandemic happened, and then I was like, I want to go home.
Come back to Southern Illinois for a bit.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Well, Nathalie, we'll let you go. Thank you so much for joining us. We're your big fans, and we'll keep telling everyone how great you were, okay?
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye-bye.